Okay, we are live. Hi, everyone. I am so excited. I have some of the most incredible pet professionals that are here with us today. We've got everything from groomers, women in rescue, amazing pet sitters, and I am so excited to introduce these guys and share that are here with us today.
Whoa,
We've got
hold on.
everything. I tell everybody to turn all of their notifications off, and what do? I do that, so I apologize. Um, but I'm really excited to share with you guys these women and why these women partnered with pawTree as pet professionals. And so we are not going to hold out any longer. If you have somebody that is supposed to be on here with you, send them a message, tag them below because sharing is caring. We're also live on YouTube right now. So for all of your friends that are not on Facebook, there are options from them as well. But let's go ahead and get started. So first and foremost, I want to know, who are you and what do you do as a pet professional? Oh, wait, you're muted. Okay, go ahead. Oh,
There we go. Okay. I'm Angela Clay, and I'm in southern Oklahoma, and I am on the Texas Oklahoma border. I am in cat rescue up to my knees. I did 2,800 cats last year. So my rescue, it's just me, myself, and I. So I'm pretty big and love pawTree. So let's do this.
Okay, I'm Traci Holmes. I have been in pawTree for 8 years. Anyways, a while. And I am a groomer. I've been a groomer for a long time, like 16 years. So, and love them both.
Hey, I'm Elisabeth Rosen, and I am in California. I've had a pet care business for about 15 years, and I added pawTree almost 6 years ago to my business. And I also am a pet CPR and first aid instructor. All things pets, that's me.
I love that. And all of these women live an all natural and holistic life. And that's really what is inspiring about today. And so now that we know who you are and what you do, what inspired you to start a pawTree business that blends with your already existing business?
I accidentally got into pawTree. I received a very large donation of wet cat food and a little bit of dry. And at the time, because of rescue, you don't live in a perfect world. I had over 139 kittens that were super sick, and it was to the point that they wouldn't eat, and it was a do or die. So it was either going to kill them or cure them. I offered them pawTree after they would not accept anything else, and they ate it. I couldn't believe I was able, not I, but pawTree's wet food was able to bring around all these kittens. And out of that bunch, I only lost one, which was phenomenal. So that's how I got introduced to pawTree. And since then, not being in a perfect world with rescue, because, we don't, there's no way that we have a perfect world. So, I have found pawTree in many ways to implement into my business. And so I'm very satisfied with that. But we'll go on later about more deep intel. So.
Okay, so what inspired me to start pawTree? Well, years and years and years ago, I had a dog that was allergic to life. I mean, she really was allergic to everything. And I had the dog on different types of food I'd never even heard of. The internet was just kind of new to at that point, accessible to everybody. And I would research things, and I had her on kangaroo food. So it was constantly, she'd do great on it, and then she would start up again. And so ever since then, I have always been kind of looking for a better food for my dogs. And she had since passed, but I just knew that there was more out there because I'd done enough research, knowing that there really wasn't anything great out there. So I was at an event, and I saw this wonderful, amazing person that was at a booth next to me, and I couldn't get enough of her information. I mean, we talked, of course it was Elka, but we talked, I kept running over there and, okay, tell me some more and tell me some more. And I was so excited about these products because I lived through a very, very sad situation with my poor little girl. And then as a groomer, I see this all the time with, you know, people who feed their dogs crap food, I guess you could say, or some of them not so much crap food, but and they are just constantly coming in with bad skin, hair loss, bad everything, just ears, you name it. And I just was really excited to hear more about a business side of things and a company that is making these foods cleanly and naturally for our animals. And so that's kind of why I jumped on board, was I just couldn't wait to share it with people. So that's my story.
I was kind of inspired, I guess, kind of twofold, because I was already familiar with the direct sales industry, which I thought as an entrepreneur makes so much sense. You know, what I do, like Traci, is very linear. We have got to be with animals to be making money. And if we take, you know, a weekend off, we don't make money. And as a pet sitter, that can literally go 24/7 for weeks, for months on end. Sometimes there's no day off in sight. So for me, the residual income was a huge part of that inspiration. And the fact that it did have to do with animals was, to me, kind of like a no-brainer. In my pet care business, it was something, coaching people was something I was already doing, because myself, with my own cats and dogs, I had already been a raw feeder and practiced holistic medicine with them for, you know, decades already. And I was very passionate about that. So I was already spending a lot of time coaching people, trying to teach them how to read labels, understand how to be proactive, use supplements. And, you know, like Traci said, good, clean, high integrity ingredients. And so when I saw pawTree, when I looked at the products, when I looked at the founder, just everything about the company, to me, I just was inspired all around to jump in. It just made so much sense. So now I make a little money doing something I was already doing. It's easier for the pet parents because I don't have to teach them how to read labels anymore. I just have to tell them, please take this quick pet quiz, our pet profile. And it's easy for me, it's easy for them, and it is just amazing for the animals. So
yes. And, you know, I'm also going to throw out that you're also an advocate for raw feeding. And, you know, Elisabeth was also super inspired by our pawTrees. And what I love about this is, from the cats to the dog grooming to the pet sitters, in all different avenues, these women were inspired because they saw the value and the integrity of the company and the products and what they can do in all of these. So this next question is kind of a fun question, actually. It's, what is something you fell in love with about pawTree?
pawTree does not compromise anything. They do not compromise any of their food, their ingredients. Being in rescue with a non-perfect world, you know, they've got the products that if you have a dog that comes in and it's new to the kennel, or a cat and they have anxiety, bang, we have a product for that. If you have, I'm just looking around, if you have a cats that or dogs that come in with loose stool, bang, we have, you know, the Gastro Pro Plus, we have a product for that. If you have them that are losing hair, you know, you've got allergy or you've got Gastro Pro Plus, bang, we have a product for that. We almost have an answer for everything out there that we, are affected by in the rescue, you know, industry. I mean, there's just tons and tons, and I'm just barely, you know, with the tip top of what we offer. But that's what I like about it. They do not compromise the ingredients or the products, whether it's for the perfect pet or for a rescue pet, or like me, I deal with FELV and FIV cats. And, they are not in the aggressive stage, but they're in the regressive and abortive stage. And I'll tell you what, pawTree, they thrive on it. They thrive on it. And I'm so impressed with the product. But like I said, they do not compromise. And that's what I greatly appreciate with the company.
Can we just mic drop right there? Like, that was amazing. Traci, go ahead.
There's a few things I fell in love with. First of all, I love the idea behind it. I think, like I said earlier, having been in a situation where nothing really could help, I love the idea that this stuff is clean. It's all natural stuff. No additives, just for the heck of it. That was the first thing I fell in love with. But then since I've been more into it, I really fell in. I now, my biggest love is the integrity of the company itself. Our founder is an amazing. Never.
Uh-oh, did we lose Traci? I think we might have lost your, and she can't hear me either. Traci, can you hear me? Oh, dang it. Is it just me? Okay. We can't hear you. Okay. Elisabeth, will you go ahead and go on? Move on.
I absolutely will. So something that I fell in love with about pawTree, I have got to say, the family, the community, the founder, it's just all the people for me. I love how tight-knit it is and how everybody helps everybody. And the goal is just to get out there and help pets and make a difference. And we all do that together. And that's truly been the thing that I most fell in love with. So the people, the community, the mission, the vision.
I love that. I love that. Okay, Traci, we're going to try one more time. If you can hear me, I can't even unmute her. Okay, Traci, if you can hear me, you may want to go out and come back in, but we're going to keep moving forward. We're going to keep moving forward. So this next question is, when you first found pawTree, you probably found that you had a favorite product, right? And now that you've been with pawTree, you've probably discovered several favorite products. But would you be willing to share what is your favorite product and why? Like right now in your business, now it has to be related to your business. What is your frequent favorite product in your business that you use all the time or recommend to your clients?
You're going to shoot me because it's not one product. It's called soup. And the soup that I use is wet food. I put GastroPro Plus in it. I end up putting the oil in it, the salmon oil in it. And then I put the bone broth in it. And then I blend that up and make a soup. If anything else needs to be added, product wise that we have, I add it in there. The cats lick it up, like crazy. If you don't have wet food, then I take the dry food and I mix that with the bone broth and I create a wet food. So I'm going to say my go-to is probably going to be the salmon oil and the allergy. Those run one and one right there together. So, but that's, those are my two, but I love the soup. I can't live without my soup. So the cats can't, not me.
I love that you shared several of them, in fact, because sometimes it's not one, it's a combination. We have solutions, right, to all of these things. So we're going to switch and move on to Elisabeth, and then we'll go to Traci.
So I think you're pretty funny for trying to get pet pros to pick a favorite product because nobody's going to commit to just one. And I have to say it is very situational for me. It depends what pet I'm trying to help. That really does make a difference. I want to cheat and say Core 4 because I love proactive. But if I'm gotta pick one, I'm just going to go with superfood seasonings because For a lot of pet parents, it is hard to think about proactive in our Western mindset world. And I feel like because paw pairings are fun, you sprinkle them on the food, shake up mealtime, pets get something different in the variety. But since it's adding that boost to nutrition, it's really an easy way for us to get that shoe in of helping pets. If they're not willing to look at more, they're willing to add what they feel is a treat. And we're getting the 8 superfoods, the vitamins, the minerals, the antioxidants in that bowl. So no matter what they're feeding or what else they're doing, at least we're getting that extra boost in nutrition. We're getting the tails wagging. We're getting the hearts beating. So I'm going with superfood seasonings today.
Well, I'm going to have to say, we might have to talk about Core 4 at the end. I mean, for those of you that are looking to be proactive, she is right about that. But Traci, I'm so glad. Let's see if we can hear you. What is your favorite product and why?
Okay, can you hear me now? Is that better? Oh, good. I'm sorry about that. All of a sudden, and then it hung up. I was like, oh no. Anyways, so my favorite product and why. Okay, I'm going to say with Elisabeth, the Core 4 now is my favorite. Put together ones. And that, my very favorite product is one of the very first ones I actually ever used is the ear wash and dry. I know that's weird. It's kind of different, but I had a cat at the time, a Sphinx, and I had just adopted him. And he had he came from rescue and he had major ear issues, and they had him in and out of the hospital, and they'd get him barely better, and then he'd go back on it again. They had put him on antibiotics, and they kind of warned me, this cat has had ear issues his whole life. And so I'm like, okay, that works. And so I was really proactive and made sure to keep his ears clean. And I used our ear wash and dry, and I had him for 4 years. I just barely lost him last fall, and he never once had an ear infection for me. Wow. Never once. And so, yeah, I love the products. I use it at work in my grooming salon. And it's kind of crazy because you get a lot of, we have other ear wash, obviously ear cleaner, and you clean out the ear with that, and you get like a lot of, some gunk. But you put our ear wash in it and you get it working in there just like you would the other stuff. And it is amazing what we get out with ours. It is so much more. I mean, I have cleaned what I would think, looking at them, perfectly clean ears, and out comes all this grease and gunk that's down in there that it has loosened it up and just set it free, and so you can get it, wipe it all out, and then you put the ear dry in there and it smells great, and their ears stay clean and healthy. I have Labradors. I use it when I take them swimming, when they do swim, if they swim, because my labs don't like to swim. But I don't deal with ear infections. Very seldom. So that's my favorite.
I think that you may have just nominated yourself to go live and show everybody how to use the ear wash and ear dry in our community. So if you guys want Traci to go live and share with us how to wash ears, drop some fire emojis in the comments, and that's going to give her a big heads up that she gets to come back and do that. She didn't know she was going to be nominated for this today, but she is all in, and I love that. So my next question is a business question, but I think it's important that everybody knows, how do you incorporate pawTree into your growing business? What is it that you do as a pet sitter, as a groomer in the pet rescue? Like, how do you talk to people about these products? How do you share with them as part of your business guideline, as a part of these natural conversations? But I would love to hear how you incorporate pawTree into your business.
Because in rescue, I'm at the vet like 24/7. I see a lot of the allergies that come in. I see a lot of, the anxiety. I see just a lot of everything, and I can always say, hey, while we're waiting out in the parking lot for 2 hours, have you ever considered something all natural? Would you consider of looking at something like this, and usually they're up for anything because they've been visiting the vet for 2 or 5 years. And I'm not putting the vet down whatsoever, but sometimes, it just comes to a time we need to change and find something else that might work more naturally instead of, with medicines. But I have just been able to use my products in my rescue in every way that you can imagine. And especially because I don't have the super healthy cats that come in all the time. I've got the sick ones, the diseased ones, the everything like that. And pawTree pawTree does wonders for them. I mean, all the cats that you've seen here with me today, loss of hair, naked. I mean, they've total loss of hair, diarrhea. I mean, everything you can imagine. Even the fleas, they will get sprayed down with our flea and tick products. So we address a lot, and it comes naturally. Let me say that. You don't sell this product in your business. You share. You just share what you've experienced, or you see what everybody, because usually everybody's running to you. My pet itches. What do you have that might be able to help? They come to you. You don't normally go to them. That's what makes this, business so simple. It's just sharing.
That was so good. Elisabeth, go ahead.
And I totally have to agree with Angela, and I'm sure Traci will agree too. As pet professionals, people do always come to us to the point where I've literally had to tell people, hang up the phone with me and call your vet right now. That is not something you call your pet sitter for. That's a medical emergency, because they know us, they trust us, they love us, and so they come to us for all things. And it's great, because I agree, we need our Western medical community, but if we can come in preventatively with natural solutions first to avoid those issues, or try them before doing the harsh pharmaceuticals that might do other damage, it's just better for the pet. So for me, incorporating pawTree into my business, it's just, how do I do it everywhere I can? That might be a PS line in every email I send out, PS Core 4 sets now on say, discount, or any communication I have. When I do meet and greets, not only do I bring my paperwork, but I bring a sample of the superfood seasonings, and I share with people my specialty is, natural pet nutrition. Wherever I am, and whoever I'm around, I just share what I do. I just share my passion. And, being a pet professional to begin with, I feel like just makes it, it's so easy to talk to people about their pets anyway, but it makes it even easier. If I'm at the grocery store, somebody says, how are you? I say, oh, I'm great. It's a sunny day and I'm a dog walker. Oh my gosh, you walk dogs. How lucky. I wish I could do a pet business. Well, hey, here, check this out. It's just like Angela said, it's just like you just can't stop sharing. So I really how do I incorporate it? Everywhere I can, everything I do, it's just kind of part of that conversation. For instance, today I brought some dogs home from a walk, and I said, it's a new client. I noticed Goldie really slowing down at the end of her walk. Are they on joint support? No, but she had an injury a long time ago. And I said, oh, I bet there's some arthritis there. What do you recommend? Hey, I'll send you a link. She can't wait to order. Actually, as soon as I get off this call, that's what I got to do. So it's just like everywhere that, and because we're hands-on, because, what we do, we're all literally hands-on with the animals. We discover things that sometimes people that, aren't aware, not because they're bad pet parents, they just don't know the things that we know. They don't see them like we see them. So we get to bring that to their attention, I think, first a lot of times as well. And probably especially Traci.
And I'm just going to throw out, even as a dog mom here and a retired vet technician, you don't know what you don't know until somebody tells us different, right? And so being that you guys have your hands in these pets' lives, how easy it is for you to incorporate this into your already existing business. I love that you shared that. Thank you. Traci, as a groomer, how do you incorporate this into your growing business?
Okay, so for me, I do recommend it if I see a dog that's got some really bad allergies, or, just some hair loss issues, whatever. I will say, hey, have you ever thought of doing a diet change or adding this product to your dog's, whatever it may be. But like I think it was Elisabeth that said, a lot of people come to me and will say, So, what kind of food do you feed your dogs? What would, that they always want to know. And I was like, well, I feed pawTree. And they're like, oh, I've never heard of that. Oh, well, guess what? I just happen to know a great way to get it. And, and then we always kind of laugh and whatever. And they're like, oh, you do a lot of dog stuff. Yeah, pretty much everything I do has to do with animals. So I do. And as a groomer, also, I know a lot of groomers that do sell food in their salons. And I work at a vet hospital, so we don't have that option. And plus, we have a very small salon, so I don't have the option to store food. And when you store food or products, you've got to worry about paying for it up front, and then storing it, and then rotating it, and making sure the expiration dates don't run out and whatnot. And I don't have to do that. I have a nice little booklet up there that people can look through while they're waiting or we're talking or whatever, and they can look through the products and ask questions. And I do a lot of talking about our stuff while I'm finishing up their dog or whatever, because I have the book there. I don't have to worry about wasting my time and my money on food that's gonna expire in my salon, or dust or whatever it may be. I don't have to worry about that. So for me, that's kind of how I use it within my business, is I talk to people, and then I have the booklet with all of the information out for people to look through, and it's worked pretty well for us.
I love that. I mean, how great is that? I mean, how many of you guys can relate to each one of these guys and their businesses and being a pet professional? Because each one are also, outside of a pet professional, they're also dog moms and cat moms of themselves. And so I absolutely love that they've decided to sacrifice a few minutes of their time today and come in. Now, we've talked about your favorite products, we've talked about pets, but this question is more or less for you and yourself. But what has pawTree given you and or your pets? So we've talked a little bit about our pets, right? So I'd really love for you to maybe answer both. Like, what has pawTree given you that you didn't know you needed maybe prior? And if you want to share what pawTree has given to your pets too, that'd be great.
What pawTree has given to me and my pets, well, pawTree has given me the freedom, and to my pets, it's given me to my pets, because now my pets can enjoy me just like this. They love having mom around all the time, except when I'm at the vet. And that's what the greatness of it is, is the love, the unconditional love that we can receive from our pets when we are able to spend time with them. And that, that's the choice that we have, is, having that freedom of being able to work our business, when we do, and being able to spend time with, the pet and with our family, and, and the incentives that pawTree gives us, to be able to enjoy. So for some of us, that is a huge cruise ship coming up, a big trip. So anyway, yay. So anyway, yeah, just the freedom for me. And then for my pets, they get me. So.
And can I just say, I think you really just smoozled me over by that kitty. I mean, did you have to pay her to do that?
Oh no, she's coming. That's why this mic has been that's why my video has been bad, because I've been like, go away. This is how she is 24/7.
And that is okay, because this is why we do this. It's bring your pets to work day every single day. Thank you so much for sharing, Angela.
You're welcome.
Elisabeth.
I'm like, her's gonna make me cry. That was just I love that. And it is so true. pawTree's given me so much personally. I feel like who I was 6 years ago coming into this business is not who I am sitting here talking to you today. 6 years ago, I wouldn't have even done this. I wouldn't have even showed up. I did not have any belief in myself that I had anything worth sharing, that I would show up in front of a live audience or recording or whatever. So, I mean, it's just from a personal growth standpoint, it has just, it's changed my life for the better in more ways than I could could even express in one quick call. And I'll also, for my pets, I'm currently a petless pet sitter. I don't have any pets, but when I joined pawTree and up until about a year and a half ago, I did have a senior kitty. And when he was not well towards the end of his life, he lost a lot of weight. And I'm going to go right back to those paw pairings because I feel like, gave me extra time with him because I just kept sprinkling him on his food to encourage him to eat. And because he kept eating, we could keep fighting and he could keep, going on. So I feel like I got extra years with my kitty because of the products helping me support him. And so, and like Angela said, the freedom to say no to other stuff because I could work pawTree around what I was doing with him. And so it did give me the freedom to not only extend his life with the products, but to extend our time together by having more opportunities to actually be with him. And it gives me so much. This one I could go on forever. My daughter just turned 30 and I saved my pawTree money and took her to Costa Rica for 2 weeks for her 30th birthday. I never would have dreamed that I could have done something like that I was the kind of mom that could have done something like that. I've been a single mom for, her whole life. So, and Angela, the incentive trips, we get we get to travel the world because we love pets and share these products. I've been to the Bahamas, I've been to Mexico, I've headed to Alaska, things again that
we swam with pigs in the Bahamas. Can we just say that was?
We rode camels in Mexico. Who knows what were polar bears? I don't know what's in Alaska. But the things that we have gotten to do, I never would have. And meeting, people like this. I mean, we got people in Utah, we got people in Oklahoma, me in California, all on this call. And I know all these people. I've hugged them all in person before, only because of this business. So, I mean, it's just like, the giving never stops, especially with our founder, because that's what his heart does. And it's all just because we're all in it to help pets. So
that was perfect. I mean, that was beautiful. I mean, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing and pouring your heart into this. Traci, your turn.
Okay, for me, pawTree has been my tree of life. In all reality, since pawTree, you don't know what you don't know with a lot of things, like we've said before. And I didn't know that I needed some personal growth. I mean, I didn't, I was comfortable where I was at. And the person, like Elisabeth said, the person I was when I started this and I never would have dreamed that I would want to become a different person or better person, more, just more aware of a lot of life things that is out there. And so pawTree has really given me my life. My children even are like, you're not the same one. My husband even is like, wow, you want to do that? You're thinking like that? Interesting. And it's just a continuous, and I grow every day because of pawTree, because of just mentally, physically, personally, I want to be a better person. And it's also makes me kind of chuckle because lately I actually have put myself on a different health for myself regiment because I implemented the core 4 into my dogs and my cats' lives. And so now I'm like, well, I guess I need to get on some different salmon oil tablets and fish oil and omega-3s, and well, I probably need to do some gastro help. And well, do I need to do any joint support? I guess I do. Well, so I put myself on all of these different vitamins and regiments and whatnot in my life through pawTree. So it is because I'm seeing what a difference it's doing for my animals. I'm wanting to be a better person within myself too. And it's been a crazy ride. That's all I gotta say is it's been an amazing ride. I couldn't imagine life without it. And I will be, I couldn't give pawTree enough kudos for what it has done for me and my life professionally and my animals, my pets, is just wonderful. You should see. I have Labradors that don't really shed. It's awesome. I mean, they do shed, their labs, but they really don't shed what normal labs do. And I don't brush them because I do that stuff at work. I do not have time to brush my own animals. So it's not that. It's because of what we have. It gives me, I can have as many animals that I have, and I don't swim in dog hair and cat hair. So there you go.
Wow. Wow, guys. You guys heard it from my dearest of friends that I never would have met in this business. You heard us pour our hearts out. They shared with you a little bit. If this resonates with any of you that are watching right now, I invite you to talk to the person that invited you and learn more about our business overview. We have live webinars, we have replays. Next Friday, we're doing a really fun team night on a business overview. We're going to be doing this, we're going to be giving things away. And we don't want you guys to miss out. And we want you guys to participate. If you want to join AR community, right, of pet-minded people, join us and take a look at the business. Now, you guys heard us talk a little bit about the core four. We didn't do a whole lot of product talking, but I'm going to invite you to talk to your pet pro about watching a core four presentation and learning more about how we are teaching pet parents and breaking through. We are breaking through America right now, teaching pet parents how to be proactive. If you want to learn more about how these core four products are changing lives all over the United States, one day all over the world, I invite you to talk to your pet pro to learn more about the products. We have some amazing team incentives going on top of some some incentives that are happening. But we wanted to give you the opportunity to hear not just from us that are, on live all of the time, but some of the pet professionals that really take everything that we have to heart because they're passionate, they're caring, they're motivated by money and community because we truly make a profit with a purpose in this business. And I personally, you'll hear me in a couple of weeks, but I personally never would have been doing this as well, let alone imagined being in a Facebook group, doing a Facebook Live with people and women that I've never met before. Like, what an honor it is to be here. So I invite you to take a look at what pawTree can have to offer if these ladies inspired you today. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for sacrificing some of your day to be with us, to share with everybody. And I'm looking forward to maybe seeing you more on some of our other lives. Thank you so much, ladies. Have a beautiful day. Bye.